So, we have some plot details emerging after WB threw Batgirl in the trash. Let's check this out. Batgirl plot details revealed following cancellation. Batgirl plot details have been revealed following news of the cancellation as Warner Brothers Discovery has decided to completely shelve the flick and won't be releasing it on any platform ever. The trades are offering the cancellation came about as Warner Bros. Discovery and CEO David Zaslav are now in charge, who decided to cancel Batgirl after the flick tested negatively with audiences. Interesting. Redditors are claiming the opposite, okay? And that its low budget didn't match up to fan expectations, that they wanted to save the DC brand, and that WB is now focusing on theatrical releases instead of low budget HBO Max releases. I must tell you this. When you companies are handling these big IPs, put all your budget into it, okay? Disney's finding that out now, okay? They went big budget with The Mandalorian, and I don't know what they started to do with everything else. I'm just like, what? What? Not everything else, but most of everything else. I'm just like, what are y'all doing with these series, man? Although this wasn't a series, this was a movie. But you get my point. Don't go low budget on these gigantic IPs or characters that are related to gigantic IPs. Anyway, I'll say I'm not that surprised Batgirl got canceled, as it features a woke Latino Batgirl and Barbara Gordon in a story that sounds downright awful. I didn't know she was Latino. I thought she was supposed to be black. And like Gordon, that's why they casted Gordon as being black. And I don't know, is he Afro-Latino? You know, because Latinos, you know, just like white Latinos and there's black Latinos, and then there's like the middle that everyone's used to thinking of when they think of Latino, kind of like J-Lo or whatever, you know what I mean, that butter pecan, recan, you know, but then you have Latinos that are white, that literally, if you didn't know it, the thing was like Ben Affleck's cousin. And then you got Afro-Latinos that look like they're my cousin. You got what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's keep going here. Also, it was supposed to be released later on this year on HBO Max, but how can that be when Michael Keaton hasn't been introduced in the Flash movie? Interesting. By the way, maybe that's the reason why Ben Affleck did that Aquaman 2 thing. They're just like, we ain't going forward with none of this. Get Batfleck back, nigga. I think that's what happened. Which doesn't come out until June 2023. And will likely reboot the DCEU, and probably also means the Keaton Batman is no longer sticking around. Batgirl also happens to be directed by directors of Marvel's Ms. Marvel series, Marvel's least watched Disney show. It was. And written by the writer of Birds of Prey. Oh, God. And The Flash. I don't know how good The Flash was, but I just know Birds of Prey didn't work for me. And Ms. Marvel was just okay for me. Thought it was going to be bad, but it ended up being alright, you know? Batgirl plot details. According to Twitter, user viewer Anon, the Michael Keaton Batman, that rhymed, I had to play at the game, bars, is only featured in 5 scenes. That might not be too bad if they're glorious. If they were shot gloriously well and acted well and super badass, they could be worth it. It's kind of like how, you know, Darth Maul Short appearances, small appearances, but big impact on the movie. So it just depends. And get this, the Keaton Batman is said not to be serving as a mentor role to Leslie Grace's Barbara Gordon. Of course not. In parentheses. And that he didn't train Batgirl. Then who did? In parentheses. Keaton only has 5 scenes in Batgirl. He didn't train Barbara. She just dressed up as Batman for a Halloween party, stopped some terrorists, and tweaked the costume to be a superhero. It's said the footage involves Keaton as Batman in only 2 scenes. He meets Barbara twice in costume, first on the street telling her not to do this, then in one of those big Tim Burton-y towers where he helps her with something she needs. The last scene of the movie was them teaming up and diving off a gargoyle to fly around Gotham. I would have liked to have seen that. Here's my whole thing. I never like to pass judgment on hearsay or rumors or even test screenings. I just want to see it myself. That's like at the end of the day, I always want to see it myself. Brendan Fraser was supposed to be making his comeback. I haven't seen him in a long time. But I don't watch a lot of movies or TV. I just kind of watch what you guys expect me to review. So I don't know. But Brendan Fraser was supposed to play the villain, Firefly, where the plot would have involved his character getting fired from his job, where he would lose, get it? Haha. Where he would lose his health insurance, it would not be able to help his sick wife, where he would turn to a life of crime. Everyone liked him. Fraser consistently pointed to as the high point by all of my sources. Okay, so he killed it. Firefly gets fired from his job and his health insurance is canceled, so he desperately turns back to crime in order to help his wife. Everyone really liked Brendan Fraser as Firefly. His backstory, he was a slower goon for the Gotham mob boss that went straight to support his son's political aspirations. So Firefly got a normal job and tried to pay for his sick wife's health care. Killer Moth was a terrorist trying to kill Bruce Wayne. Firefly kills him soon after. The Twitter user also says the cowl of Barbara Gordon's improved Batgirl suit that she uses for most of the movie is made from Catwoman's parentheses. An earlier test screening says Michelle Pfeiffer is the Catwoman of the universe, but she doesn't appear in the movie, and also that a Black Canary Easter egg is included. Okay. They also add that Stallone is not in the movie. Was he supposed to be? And that Dick Grayson's Nightwing is not in the film. That J.K. Simmons is excellent as Gordon and that Ben Affleck was never in the movie. Stallone? What was he supposed to be in there as? Is the shark? And let's see, I say that spoke to people that saw Batgirl. He said it was a huge disappointment, and also that the costumes look cheap, especially Keaton's Batman. I can't even talk. His Batman costume looked cheap. Those pictures looked cool. I thought they looked good. Oh man, this sounds like it was a disaster. Sounds like. I'd still like to see it. WB, you want to call me in? Call me in. Let me watch a screener. Send me an email. Let me do all that. And we can talk about whether there should be a review released or not. And I can tell you guys if the fans are going to like it or not. I can be helpful in that way. I've already been helpful to other companies in that way. Anyway, my. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. If you enjoyed my take on this story, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Whoa.